So coming up on this video, I am going to show you my new Schefflera Rhododendrifolia that I've got delivered from desert to jungle. And I'm also going to show you my Schefflera Taiwanianas and the best Schefflera that I've got in my garden, the Schefflera Rhododendrifolia. Right, I'm sorry to interrupt myself, but I want to just show you right now a picture of what Schefflera Rhododendrifolia would actually look like when it's much more mature. You can see here on the right a picture of Schefflera Rhododendrifolia. You can see it's a strong vertical. It's as tall as a two-story house. You can see the house behind it, and it looks quite impressive. And I do understand that these plants are actually quite fast growing, so I'm really excited if I can get it through winter. This is the sort of thing that I could be having as part of my jungle garden. Another reason that I am talking over myself here is that the sound quality was really poor because of the wind. So sorry about that, guys and girls. But um, I basically am saying that I'm quite happy with the size of this plant. I'm really looking forward to planting it. I have had a number of different problems with these plants. I did order a whole collection of 6 different Schefflera Taiwanianas actually from Crocus, and I found those were really quite difficult to um, overwinter. I got them really cheap. I've had to look after them, and that's why I got them so cheap, maybe. But what I did find, I put them near to the house and kept them in little pots. I don't have a greenhouse. I kept them near to the house just for the residual warmth that you get from the house. And whilst they did survive the winter, they looked quite sorry for themselves. And I found out that they were suffering from root rot. So do watch how much perlite and grit you put in. You need to put quite a lot in. Um, and ultimately, from the people I've spoken to, these plants just prefer being in the ground from a drainage point of view. They can root properly. When the plants are quite small, they're quite difficult to look after. So really, they want to be looked after by somebody who really knows what they're doing, like professional growers. That's why it's so much easier to get these plants when they're bigger, to get them through winter. But these plants look a reasonable size, and I'm going to take the chance with them and see how they get on. I'm going to put them straight into the ground. One of the things to bear in mind is that when you're planting them in the ground, you really want to replicate the conditions that these plants like, which is they are woodland plants from Taiwan. So they really want a sheltered position, um, near to a sort of a canopy of trees, where they've got some shelter from the really worst weather. And that's where I'm going to be putting these plants. As promised, here's a picture of my Schefflera Rhododendrifolia, which I have got through winter successfully, having bought from Krug Farm Nurseries. And if you look at it here, you can see that it's got the juvenile foliage form, which is that serrated edge to the leaf, sort of jagged edge, which is quite incredible. Unfortunately, when it gets older, it loses that leaf form, but you get those massive leaves, not quite as massive as Schefflera macrophylla. Just quickly to point out to you the stem here, that's a really substantial stem, which is going to help with its hardiness over winter, to have that wooden stem. So this is one of the Schefflera Taiwanianas I got from Crocus last year, late autumn, that I overwintered, and it's quite happy now that it's in the ground. But if we return to the Schefflera
Okay, so
Rhododendrifolia,
this is where I'm going to plant it. The other one didn't really have any roots,
but I've had that problem with the Taiwanianas that I planted a few months ago, and they've been doing absolutely fine. So um, let's just see how we get on. I have actually planted it at the front of the border. It looks tiny compared with other plants that are here, but I know what its potential is, so I'm looking forward to seeing that materialise. So just to show you where I have planted the other one, it's so tiny, it's just hiding in there. Very sheltered spot, as you see, so I've got high hopes, and then I just need to give it a bit of a water. So thanks for visiting me, and I think I'm gonna call it a day. So this is one of the Schefflera Taiwanianas I got from Crocus last year, late autumn, that I overwintered, and it's quite happy now that it's in the ground. But if we return to the Schefflera Rhododendrifolia, I'm just going to show you the planting position I've chosen for one of them.